It is Monday morning and I do not want to be working, but in today's video, I'm going to talk about my Skool strategy and how I've generated over $20,000 with my Skool community. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know that I make these videos really just to document my own journey, share my tips and tricks, and just show what's been working for me and my agency. And as part of that series that I've been documenting for the last, I guess like year now, highly recommend subscribing, I have documented pretty much everything that I've done. And one of the things that I've done is I've created a series of Skool communities. I've created a free version and I've created a paid version. And through the use of that, I've generated over $20,000 having started that. So what have I actually done? Now, for context, you should be seeing some little pop-ups on my screen showing you my free Skool community right now and also my paid Skool community. I teach people how to do email and SMS marketing specifically. So I run an email and SMS marketing agency and I've leveraged my experience in those fields to create Skool communities. Now, why do I have a free and why do I have a paid? Well, the reality is my free Skool community is a hell of a lot easier for somebody to join. By the way, you should be able to check it out in the description of this video. There's some links down below. But having a free Skool community is a hell of a lot lower in terms of its barriers to entry for people to join compared to a paid community. Now, my paid community, I charge 150 bucks a month for. We have 44 members. There's some free members in there just because they are clients of mine, but you know, we generate about 3.3K a month from the paid community specifically. And then in the free Skool community, we have about, at the time of recording, 1,500 members in there. And we generate a little bit of an income from selling digital products in there as well. But let me talk about my overall strategy here. So before I was actually doing the Skool community, I was driving everybody from these YouTube videos, for example, to my newsletter. I was doing that because I wanted to have a place that I could contact people who watched my content more consistently. I want to be able to contact them in a way that doesn't rely on an algorithm. For example, this video, I have 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. This video is probably only going to get like 200 views. And the reason that is because it relies on the algorithm to display my stuff, right? And there's a bunch of things that go into that. But when I drive them off of these platforms into a newsletter, for example, I'm able to send an email and pretty confidently know that whatever I send out will generate about 50% open rates. I switched that to my Skool community. The reason I did that is because the whole reason I was building my Skool community or even my newsletter in the first place was because I wanted to convey trust and I wanted to be able to develop a relationship with people through the delivering of value on a consistent basis that would eventually allow me to sell to those same people in the future. Now, the reason I've switched to Skool is because Skool is better at doing that. Within my Skool community, I give away a ton of free value and free information, more so than I would be able to do within my newsletter, meaning it is easier for me to then take people from my Skool community as opposed to my newsletter and ascend them into paid offers. So speaking of that, how do I actually generate an income from Skool? There are three ways that I generate income from my Skool communities, both my free and my paid. The first one is I generate income through people actually just being part of my paid community, which is once again $150, or really it's $149 per month. Okay, I generate, like I said, about 3.3K per month at the time of recording from that. That is one way that I generate income. The second way I generate income is through the direct acquisition of clients from people going into my free Skool community. When they join my free Skool community, I ask them, and you should just join the community and you'll see my whole process, by the way, super fascinating. You will see that I ask people 3 questions and I ask them what type of business they are. Are they an email marketer? Are they an e-commerce business? Or are they an agency owner? If they are an e-commerce business, I offer them a free audit. And to get that audit, they have to get on a call. And then I ascend them to becoming an actually paid client. We've generated some pretty significant income off the back of that strategy. And the crazy thing is, a free Skool community is a much better lead magnet for potential leads compared to, say, a free audit or, you know, a free template design, because you are pitching people who have already seen the value in your Skool community with a follow-up free offer that's even more compelling. So I've generated some pretty good business from that. The third way that I generate income is from sponsored content within my Skool communities. We get a bunch of tech partners and businesses reaching out to us saying, hey, Gavin, can you talk about our tool? Can you recommend our software? And if I like their tool and I like their software, I will charge people to be featured in my Skool community. And that generates, it really depends on the month. I think like this month we've generated like maybe 2.5K from sponsored content. And we have affiliate deals off the back of that as well. So another great way to generate leads. So those are the ways that we make money with my Skool community. And then listen, if you're tossing it between building a newsletter or building a Skool community is a hell of a lot harder to build. Like my My one took me a lot of time, but it's really, really good. But it is a lot more effective at converting leads compared to a newsletter. Now, I'm not saying don't run a newsletter, because I actually pull people from my Skool community and I add them into my newsletter as well. But if you have to choose, go the hard yards and go for the Skool community. So that's how I generate an income from my Skool community. Now, how do I actually grow my Skool community? So I put content out on here, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and my newsletter, right? Consistently. And all of those platforms have calls to actions or, mentions or lead magnets that essentially push people into my free Skool community. So anywhere that I'm putting out content, there is a subtle tie-in to my Skool community. And that has helped me generate about an extra 30 to 40 members every single day in my community. I also put some money behind ad spend. I think I spent like $2,000 on ads to grow my community a bunch. And what that did is it actually pushed me up in the organic search results within Skool, which is another way that I generate a bunch of leads from my Skool community. Organic traffic from Skool is pretty significant. You get a lot of leads from Skool just pushing people to your community itself. So I generate quite a bit of traffic off the back of that. That's how I grow my community. And that's how it's been now. Like, it's the #1 email marketing community in the world, but it's also 845 overall within the money category on Skool, but #1 for email marketing. So what am I doing next? What is Gavin doing next? With my Skool community, I'm going to continue growing it. The goal is to get to 100 paid members by the end of the year. I don't know how well we're going to get to that goal, but ideally I want to push enough people into my paid community from my free. So I'd like to get to 10,000 free Skool community members on the free, and I'd like to ascend enough people to be 100 into the paid. I'm going to keep creating content like this that pushes people to the free Skool community, and I'm going to keep running essentially strategies. I've turned off ads because the cost per acquisition got too expensive, but I will keep running adverts within my Skool community from other people who want to sponsor my content. I'm essentially going to long-term play, try and make this Skool community something valuable in itself that can then be sold to another agency or to another company as an asset. Overall, the Skool community is doing really well. Super happy with it. Check it out, link in the description. If you're thinking about running your own Skool community, shoot me a message. I'm not like a Skool community expert, but I can definitely share some tips and tricks. Thanks for watching.